we opened a new website. You know what it's called?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because you registered the domain. So we opened the ITOT.Academy, where we will start accepting registrations for a training about IT and OT.
I'm super excited, Willem. Actually, didn't know that the domain .academy existed, but since I knew that, I
We
immediately
had to
went
take
for
it. We
I
had to take
immediately
it.
went for ITO.Academy. Just sounds amazing, right?
No way we could pass up on that one. So if you're interested already and you don't want to hear, you don't need to hear more, just go to ITOT.Academy and register, and it's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
Is this the end of the podcast already?
It could be for that person that now just stopped the podcast and went to the website and just registered. It's fine. For those of you who want to know a bit more about what we're going to do there and what it is and what it isn't, stay tuned. We have some more information for you. So, David, we started a couple of weeks ago by sending to our subscribers an email requesting some feedback
Yeah,
regarding training.
yeah,
So, what came out of it?
a lot. Thank you all for for the amazing response. Um, Lots of things. First of all, we asked some basic questions on the topics. Now, I think everybody, well, it's kind of obvious that our audience is very interested in bringing IT and OT together. So that was also the
No
result of
kidding.
the, don't know whether that was actually a good question to ask, but in any case, it's a confirmation of the work we're doing. Uh, Data, AI, unified namespace, all those topics, people ask questions about them. We ask them about, do you want to go for a lengthy academy? Do you want to go for short classes? Surprise, surprise. Everybody wants a short class. Um, and actually what also surprised me a little bit, I need to be honest here, what surprised me a bit was that the absolute majority of you, the ones who responded to our survey, said that they also want to be connected to peers, to get these, not probably not face-to-face connections, but at least virtual connections to people who are facing the same type of problems, which I kind of understand because, well, my wife doesn't understand what I'm doing. I don't know what's the case in how that's in your family,
She
Willem.
still has absolutely no clue. I gave up. It's okay.
So maybe a couple of extra friends would be a benefit.
It's nice. It's nice because also my friends don't understand it either. So I'm not that surprised that people want to talk to
No, it's not.
peers.
But it's. I would say the response was overwhelmingly positive. So that means that indeed, in this episode we are officially launching, our ITOT.Academy. So
Okay, great.
let's go.
So, David, who is this training for?
The people who do the work, short and sweet. And the people who do the work, obviously in the plants, who face problems every day. You're still facing them, Willem.
Absolutely.
We've been facing them together for so many years in our previous job when we were working
So,
together.
people in IT in companies, people in OT in manufacturing companies, trying to get a better grip, to get some understanding, some new insights.
Yeah, and you know it's not about IT OT convergence. It's about IT OT collaboration. And in order to collaborate, if you're sitting on the OT side, you really, really, really need to understand how IT is thinking, how IT is working. No, they are not the enemy. And the same holds true for the other way around. If you're working in IT, you also need to understand how operations is thinking, how OT is thinking, the differences. And there are so many differences, but of course, today, most of the topics we are talking about, or where people are working about, on is sending data back and forth.
A second group that we also get quite a lot of feedback from are people working in consultancy. They're often looking for new ideas, other insights, or maybe just a way to get somebody up to speed quickly.
Oh yeah.
You have a new hire, you are working in this space, and you want to bring up to speed in what the problems are that happen when you try to digitalize manufacturing.
Yeah, and it's about the stories, but it's, I think, especially in consulting, it's also about the frameworks.
Mhm.
It's about our organizational frameworks. It's about our capability maps, that type of things, and it just makes sense because it gives you some guidance.
Yeah.
Um, what I There is another group as well, and those are the technology vendors, and you know. It was a bit of a surprise for me. Of course, we saw that growing over the last year. Um, I thought that a technology vendor, I would say, would just like to push their solution into the
Please buy
market.
my software here.
Buy my amazing piece of software, which is going to miraculously going to solve all your problems. And by the way, it comes with built-in AI or something like that, right?
Of course.
But obviously, they face they also have some things to solve because they also want to make sure that they understand the problem they want to solve for their customer. So this means that yeah, we can also give them some guidance, again using the examples we've been working on, etc., to make those projects into a success, and might probably also help them with the onboarding process. It's the same a bit with the consultants.
I think the good vendor also will be one that not only sells you a product, but also make sure that the product that they're trying to implement with the customer also becomes a success. And that can also mean going a bit further than just the technology you're doing. It could be like finding out like how can we bring this cooperation up and running with
Yeah,
within the
and
customer.
today, the world today is different than it was, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. In the sense that today it's all about cooperation. Also, from a technology perspective, there are no monolith solutions, and well, there probably are still monolith solutions on the market, but this is not. I would say this is not where we're heading towards. It's more about open systems. It's about collaboration between teams. It's about data exchange, all these things. So I fully understand that it's not just about them anymore. It's about the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely also a group that surprisingly is also very interested in what we're doing. Didn't wasn't in our minds when we started. So, what is the format going to be? I think we already said it's going to be shorter sessions.
Shorter sessions. So we are not going to do pre-recorded videos
You
or
mean those with that you push the button? Can I double the speed or get some transcript and give me the summary after I put it through ChatGPT?
yes, please do this in 1.5 speed while I'm checking my email and responding to 5 LinkedIn
Okay,
messages. That one, no,
yeah,
that
okay.
one.
Now I think it was clear people are not interested in day-long trainings, especially when they're remote. Well, it's hard to block my agenda for an entire day, and even if I would block it, I would still be bugged on chat, on mail, and there would be this urgent meeting I would have to drop out. So we
Yeah.
get that.
Short, sweet, but still live because this interaction, the interaction we're having now while recording the podcast, it just works. If you extend that to a bigger group, you can have the interaction, you can ask the questions. It's a totally different dynamic than having a pre-recorded video. So it's going to be short, it's going to be live, it's going to be virtual, obviously, so we can reach people all over the world. It's not going to be a technology training.
No, it's not going to go. We're not going to talk about a vendor or a specific technology or what do you need to do to implement ABC.
No, no, because A, there are so many solutions on the market, and B, I think it's really our role. I think from an ITOT insider perspective, we're all about the more generic concepts, the vendor neutral concepts. And yes, obviously, we sometimes on our blog as well, yes, obviously we have interviews with people who are sitting on the technology side. But it's really to learn from their experiences. It's not per se to promote
Their
their
product.
products.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
it's definitely not going to be a technology training. It's going to be more a conceptual one. So 2 hour sessions. That's also kind of the max, I
I think that's
guess.
the max. I think I can block my agenda for 2 hours and stop any chat from coming in for 2 hours. Resisting the urge to check my mail for 2 hours. Yes, because I don't like to look at my mailbox. But I think 2 hours you can manage. We're going to have 6 sessions. We're going to start with the first three. that are focused on the core concept. So I think everything you are reading in the blog, the things we have been writing about all this time, but with a bit more depth and with a more coherent story. Because I think in the blog, David, we try to keep it short and sweet to
Yeah.
one small concept, 800 words, nothing more.
Yeah, and also the blog is, and I think that makes sense. It's an organic thing. You know, the articles we write, we write them because they happen.
Yes.
I don't know how to I don't know how to
Yeah,
put it.
it's just very easy. I mean, you do something at work and you think, God damn it,
Yeah, you
why
come
don't we
across
do it
something,
that
and
way?
typically it's either because I came across something when I was doing, I don't know, a consulting job somewhere, or I was talking to a prospect, or it's because you came across something in your job, and we went like, you know, this makes sense to
Yeah.
write something about this, but that doesn't make it, I would say, into a coherent story. So our core track of the training, so the first 3 sessions, are about what we believe is the core concepts, or the 3 core concepts of our work. And that's what we call understand, cooperate, and scale. Now, all the details, you know, that's for the training, but understand is kind of clear. The language of IT and the language of OT, basically. But still, it's super important.
Absolutely.
Cooperate, that's our work around, yeah, our cooperation models. So how do you make teams work together?
I think we can also say that since we've written that, we've also had more feedback and
Yeah.
also refined everything that's behind it. So there's also
Yeah.
definitely new content. It's not just rehashing of what you can read.
No, absolutely. There is. We've been working on quite a lot of new content, which will be drip feeding into the market in the time to come. But in the academy, we really bring it. We really bring that together, and then scale. Scale means how do you make sure you don't end up with 5 failed pilots?
That's a good
There's a
one.
core program.
Then we have three more lessons. Three more
Yes,
lessons. Yes. More on the practical.
more on the practical things.
Yeah. So of course we're not just gonna go and give you a development environment. It's like we said, it's not about technology, but we're gonna bring you together on a use case. And we're going to work as people who joined Sweet Harmony Treats. It's a company that makes waffles. Because
Waffles,
even
because
though David and I have a background in chemicals, etc., it's just not so tasty to work with. I don't know, polyethylene or something like that, or any other chemical. So waffles, it is.
waffles it is, absolutely.
Yeah. So we're gonna put you together with your peers in small groups. Because if you're working with remote sessions, etc., you have big groups. It's a recipe for no interaction whatsoever. So we're going to bring you together in very small groups to work on that use case, applying the concepts, but also discussing those concepts with peers. That's the first session of the 3. The second one is also one that was requested a lot, is getting an interactive session with people who actually did the work, who managed to deploy globally solutions on the shop floor, bridging that gap between IT and OT, and having an interactive session about it. Maybe have some feedback on the use case. And David, was the last session to wrap it all up?
Gonna wrap everything up. It's an Ask Us Anything session. Ask Us Anything session
Yeah.
where I'm sure that there will be topics which we can't, I would say, or questions which we can't answer during the first session. So the last one is an Ask Us Anything. Ask us all the difficult questions you want us to try
No,
to
great.
try to answer.
So, if you're still listening and you're curious, when is this going to happen, David? When do
So
I need to clear up my agenda and free it up?
yeah, we're gonna start with 2 groups, starting end of August, beginning September. We have one group which is perfect for European time, or even Asia. Well, a little bit later in Asia, but still doable. And the second group is perfect for US, Canada, American time zones. So 2 groups starting end of August, beginning September. All information, registration, all the Q&A type of things you want to know can be found at, again, because I still just like the domain name, ITOT.Academy. Yeah, if you have questions, we're happy to answer them. You can email us at academy@itotinsider.com. Willem, I'm really excited. This is for me, for you, for the ITOT Insider. It's really the next step. We've been thinking about this for
A long
a
time.
long time.
A long time.
I don't know when we first started with this idea, but in any case, it's a very it's a fun, it's a crucial, it's a big next step for us. So we really hope to welcome many of you in our upcoming groups. Again, find us at ITOT.Academy, and I hope, and we hope, to see you there soon.
Really.
Willem, thank you. And next time, this will be another normal podcast, I assume.
I think we'll continue doing regular stuff after this one.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Take
Bye.
care and hope to see you soon. Bye bye.